Hello and welcome into Same Shit, Different Toilet. Hey, on today's show, it is the 149th anniversary of the driving of the Golden Spike. And we are in the Sacramento area, which just happens to be the home of the California Railroad Museum. So we thought we'd talk a little bit about trains this week. And guess what? This week's FOB is train movies. That's right.
Your ticket to a better night's sleep.
And after we ride that train, we're going to roll down the track of what success means to us. But first, do the shitheads think we got it right?
There you go.
For the SNL movies, we picked Tommy Boy. Shitheads agreed. Tommy Boy was the right movie.
Unanimous.
All right, I like the sound of that.
Absolutely.
Good job, shitheads. Way to have our back on one finally. Oh wait.
I think we only overruled this once.
Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty loyal shitheads. Remember, shithead is a term of endearment, Freshie.
Well, on this show,
All we got is the shitheads, Freshie. We can't have you cussing them out and turning them away. You see?
Oh man, it sucks to be back to reality after the nice weekend we stayed up at the Mountain House. It was beautiful.
La Casa de Monte.
Right? Perfect harmony up there.
It is.
Even Drewski's running around fishing and shit. That's ridiculous.
I love when the boys
man.
go fishing like that. It's amazing to me. Mandarin will sit there. That kid can't sit still for nothing. I've seen him crouch next to the riverbank for hours just watching a bobber.
Right.
Nature
crazy.
has a natural power over us, you know. It's human nature to be natural in nature. It's very fun. It was a great time.
It was a really good
Creek
time, yeah.
Creek River was right close. We had some time in the woods.
And I hope you guys enjoyed the special edition we dropped from the Mountain House featuring Mama KGB and Hollywood Nikki making their first appearance on Same Shit, Different Toilet.
And quite a few bottles of wine.
It was, yeah. I don't know how it's going to sound, but I hope it's good. I hope you have fun. We had fun recording it. That was one of the reasons I kind of wanted to get to it early, because in those environments, when I start like drinking and smoking for breakfast, by the time it's we're going to record at 9:30, it's like, all right, you fucks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, but it was a great time. It was good to have them involved, and I hope we can get them on more and more, and we can get the girls' involvement more and more on the shows.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. They were fun. They confirmed everything about you. That's for sure.
Was Mac was at the show, right? Because he was Nikki was like breast. Can you hear him?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Several times.
That's so.
You
good.
can hear the train real well in the background.
Speaking of,
I loved it because right before we started recording, I walked out to the patio that was out overlooking the river, and because I just wanted my little moment of zen, right? I wanted to little extra bowl in, you know me and my tolerance level.
Yeah.
So I was sitting out there and I was thinking to myself, if we miss the last train of the night, I'm going to be pissed.
It was getting late.
Oh, it was, and I was thinking, man, we might have missed it. And I sat down, and it was just a few minutes in, we started to hear the rumble. And it took a minute or two, and then that whistle. It sounds like a sound bite. It's amazing how much awesome. That train echoes through that little valley right there, and it's great. Even though trains aren't technically part of nature, man, they sure do sound great out there.
It's kind of up there with they get things from A to B in difficult places and all places. Why wouldn't they go out through nature and country roads and train? I don't know.
I kind of consider it a little bit with nature because it's been around so long.
Yeah, it's old when all they had was wood and they chopped down trees to make.
Well, the Continental Railroad's been around for 149 years,
as we just stated in the intro.
We love history here at the Outhouse,
but the Mountain House, man, just all the trees and all the serenity and peace. I mean, it's P3 to the maximum.
P3
that is the P3 spot.
Well, I'm trying to do meditation more because it's super good. You know, meditation could be better for you than medication. And if you have to take medication, having meditation in conjunction with the medication is key. And I've been slipping on my meditation of my anxieties and depressions and anger and all that stuff. And it really does wonders. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go walk out by myself down by the creek. And I went down the hill and I went to the creek, that little lookout spot that you told me about where the boys were fucking around. And I just stood out there. It must have been Sunday morning, I think. And I always get bummed on like vacations. I don't want to go home. I hate goodbyes. I don't want to go. I would like bawl when my grandparents would fly home. Like goodbyes are always fucking shit to me. And I was like, fuck it. So it kind of had that mode, and it was kind of Sunday, and it was going to be another motherfucking Monday or whatever you call it. And Fresh rolls his eyes. But fucking, so I went down there and I looked at the little eddy in the creek and the water and just watched it flow and smelled the pine and relaxed, and it was just fucking
beautiful.
It was zen for sure.
It's definitely
it was
zen
so nice.
Wasn't that BB gun fun too?
Oh, the BB gun was great, especially when we found out it was automatic.
Yeah.
Tack, 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 tack,
Well,
tack, tack.
we found out through Mommy KGB's KGB skills
Oh man, that was scary.
when she grabbed that thing and just let loose like that.
Oh, I knew she was a double agent.
I've been sleeping with one eye open. I ain't even
I bet. Check the mattress for
I ain't even
knives.
lying. Yeah.
What was that line you said? That was pretty cool. We can shove off in a minute. Or what do you say when you go on a train? You don't shove off. That's a sailing term, right?
Uh-huh.
What did you be on a train? I mean, there's all aboard.
Yeah, I don't know.
What is it?
Next stop, Markleyville.
But that implies that you're already on it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
well,
not
you
sure,
said
man.
about the Native Americans. What did you say?
What about when we were up there?
Yeah, remember?
Oh, it's a quote I've seen somewhere. Just before the white man came, native brave rode horse and hunted all day and did drugs. And the females gathered all the food and cooked. Only the white man thought he could improve on that.
Right. You said it a lot better on the trip, but the sentiment was there. It sucks when you have like a good joke or a good line and then it's all in the delivery.
Oh, I
Well,
read
a
that.
lot of
That's
it
an actual quote.
Yeah.
Somewhere. But yeah, no, we were talking about the train in the valley. I used to think about the Native Americans up on that bluff. And I think about it when I would go to Montana as a kid. They were there at some point, and there was no road. There were no houses. There was no nothing. It was just animals as far as they could see, and then that was it again. Animals, and nature.
Maybe if I lived in that time, I'd have a better sense of direction. You'd fucking hope so anyway.
Maybe, yeah.
I'd be one of those guys that would just wander off and never come back. It'd be like Simba in The Lion King. Come back. I found my way back 15, 18 years later. I got a little pubic patch on my chest, and all of a sudden I sound like Matthew Broderick. Fucking where you been, Nala? What you mean you sleeping with Scar?
Hey, Jonathan Taylor Thomas grew up right down the street from here.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Like literally around the corner from here. Bro.
We're talking about practice.
Yeah.
Practice.
That's funny. That's just a Lion King circle of life.
Really?
Like how I dropped that one in there.
I never knew that. Wow.
I didn't know that either.
So the pool guy came by this week, and he says he's got a window that's available in 3 weeks, which means demo starts now.
Soon?
This week.
Oh, now?
Well, yeah,
You're talking fucking now.
he's coming over tomorrow to take a look, and then before this weekend, I'll be missing concrete.
I want to help break stuff.
Yeah, come over.
I can break stuff.
Demo's fun until you hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So it'll be a lot.
Sledgehammer.
So it's finally starting to get real quick.
It better get fucking real quick, because in 5 months it needs to be done.
It'll be
the
done.
project, as you've described it, is quite ambitious.
It'll be fine.
You're giving me anxiety
The
talking
homies
about
got
this
it hooked
shit.
up.
I had to clarify. I was like, wait, you're doing this here? He was like, oh, yeah. We got this. And I'm like panicking. I was like, there's not enough time.
You just got to have enough people.
There is not enough time.
Enough people and enough money. You can fix any problem, right?
Are you using Carlos Got a Guy?
Yeah, I'm using Carlos Got a Guy brother.
Oh, his brother.
Yeah. and
How many
he's-
guys has he got?
Everybody's got to.
It's like a whole family of Got a Guys.
Oh no, it's insane. That's why
I love people that know how to do things. That's really cool. I admire that. I just want to kind of like sit around and hand you guys beer and wear a sexy apron like I was the wife or something. Here you go, Mr. Orange. Here's another orange beer. Fucking Duffman, stop talking to me that way. Smack his ass when I walk into the kitchen.
freaking everybody out.
Me and KGB can drink some white wine.
What are you doing over there?
Nothing.
Oh.
Work.
Nothing
Work.
What did you say?
Nothing. No, I'm just working. I'm just working, getting shit ready for the show, man, because we're a professional podcast.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Well, I mean, yeah, professionalism is key. You got to try to be professional. But anyway, so speaking of professionalism, let me tell you about Mac's butt freckle. So, like, as you're Well, you're looking at your baby and you're looking at him all the time and he's ever changing. And at first I was like, we don't need newborn pictures. And then 3 weeks later, the newborn pictures came and I was like, it's a totally different person. Thank God you got those newborn pictures.
Crazy.
It's insane. So he's always changing. So I'm changing his diaper and he's got this big Buddha pot belly like his daddy now. And his isn't from beer. It's from milk fat, but breast milk.
Oh, lucky boy.
He's a chunkster. We call him Little Buddha. I tickle him and I go, Buddha, 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 Buddha.
Right.
And I rub it on my finger on his lips and his nose, and he just smiles and laughs and punches. He thinks it's the best thing. So I'm changing the boy. I get his little legs up in my hand like he's a piece of cattle and fucking like I'm roping a goat. And I was wiping him with the wipe and whatnot, and I was like, oh, there's like this little piece of poop stuck to him. And I was like, I'll wipe it off with the wet wipe, right? But it's not coming off. So I'm kind of going at it and I'm working at it. And I was like, well, God, maybe it's a freckle. I don't want to fucking try to pick a freckle off the kid.
Yeah, it's not coming off.
Not thinking at all. I lift his legs up further and put my face right down there for a closer look. And no sooner did I get my eyes close enough to inspect it, he goes, and I was like, holy shit. I popped up like, that was fucking close.
Pink eye.
That was a close one. So then I was like, God damn it, I think that's shit. So I took my nail, and sure enough, I scraped it off. But that was a close one. Now, I wasn't planning on talking about this, but this just happened yesterday. It was fucking Monday. I took Nikki and her mom and JB and Victoria to brunch at the Bella Brew by our house. We walked down there. We met them there. We had Mac and Tinchy the dog with us. Buffalo Tinchy. And it was a great time. Victoria, 18 years old, loves the baby. She wants to be a great aunt and stuff, but she's like afraid to hold him for whatever reason.
Yeah, she's like
she's apprehensive to hold him. Yeah, probably because she hasn't held a lot of baby before. I don't know.
For
but
sure.
I'm like, you're going to be great. Fucking pick him up upside down by one leg. He's fine.
Right.
And maybe not yet, but probably next week. He's strong, bro. And so she finally gets him. And she's wearing these little shorts. And she's sitting on the bar stool with him. And he's looking up at her. And I hear somebody go like, oh, look at the admiration in his eyes, or the adoration in his eyes. Look, he just loves you. And she's like, oh, my God. And like he started shitting, like he like hella farted, and we've never had this happen, but it blew out the side, and she goes, and she just like flicks him away, and like grandma grabbed him or whatever, and like I was like, oh, that's never happened before. So I immediately grabbed the reaction time of this 20-second event was crazy. I grabbed paper towel, run around the corner. I like wiped the shit off her leg and like give her a paper towel, or I grabbed the baby or something, and shit, liquid orange brown shit is just coming out of his little shorts.
That was the grossest thing I've ever heard in my
fucking
life.
Coming out. She's like, oh my God, it got on my shoe. It like got on her shoe. It's dripping on the floor. And unbeknownst to us, we're tripping out. JB's got his phone out and he's snapping photos.
Oh.
And we have
2018.
a before and after picture that is amazing. It shows Tori holding Mac with the face when she realizes she got shit on, just like, and Mac just looking up at her and smiling. But I was like, yeah, that's adoration, but that's the put in poop work face. Like, and then her grandma Nona goes, look, he's grabbing onto her shirt like he's bracing himself.
He's pushing hard.
So fucking she's mortified. She's mortified, and then JB texts like all of the family. And she's like, you better not have fucking texted that. And we were all laughing. It was
Twitter.
so much fun. Yeah, I'll show you guys that. And another thing, HOAs are gay. I got a letter about garages the other day, like how my garage should be kempt, that seemed to set up a neighborhood fight club. They said, if you complain about somebody's garage, you cannot do it anonymously. You must show up to the neighborhood fight club at the center of all HOAs and horn-sporting, cheesecake-eating bitches.
What are they going to complain about on your garage?
And you need to
In your
debate
garage.
it. Yeah, you can't turn your garage into an office. You can't turn it into a storage unit. You can't make it a workshop. And I'm like, what? It must be used for parking cars. And I'm
Are
just
you
like,
allowed to park in your driveway?
They were saying they don't. It wasn't like a hard no, but it was a very hard lean towards the other way. And they're saying they were kind of giving people the idea to snitch on people.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I could fucking. I mean, I get it.
That's how they
good,
work.
There's a good and a bad, and there's a fine line. But anyway,
That's how they work. The good and the bad, they come together.
I mean, that's inside your property. I don't understand how that's fucking with anybody.
well,
Fuck
you know what's
you.
They don't. My answer to that's always been don't live there.
This isn't communist Russia.
That if you
can't
buy
handle
into
it.
a neighborhood that's got HOAs, when you buy into it. So you just got to play by the rules. You don't really have a choice.
It would protect my parents right now from the piece of shit neighbor that they're dealing with. He's been harassing our family for fucking 20 years or whatever, and I thought he was all gone, and I just found out yesterday that he sent them some shitty letter trying to sue them for $500 because he's like claiming they damaged his hedges. It's a whole long piece of shit, and he's totally wrong, and they got facts on facts on facts on his ass. And my mom won't pay it because she's like, that's an admission of guilt, and I didn't do that shit. Here's the counter letter. Bong, 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 bong. And
Man.
I was like, I thought these people were gone.
What are they
That
going to
sucks.
kick you out? Like, if they catch us doing LSU in your garage or some shit, wherever we
Oh,
end up
we're
setting
not.
up.
We're gonna be fine.
All right, they're not going to fuck with us.
Oh, I'm not worried about that.
No,
We'd
it's
be
more.
like, get the fuck out and bump some more Biggie.
It's more about the big picture things, and I've seen lots of them before. Where if you have a 2-car garage, you have to own 3 vehicles before you can park in the driveway, and you're not allowed to park in the street. My parents got wrote up for me parking in the street because I had the hoopty, right, the dot.
Yeah, nobody wants to see
Nobody
that
wanted to
shit.
see that anyway.
Yeah.
Right. But there was no parking in their garage. I don't think we had room for it. So they had 2 cars in the driveway already. They were already pushing it. And so then my car was, over the edge a little bit.
Yeah.
They're in place for a reason, so you don't end up with a crappy neighbor that puts cars on blocks in his yard.
And
or whatever.
depreciates the
Right.
value of your
Yeah.
property immensely. So I'm thinking, I was like, fucking move. There's been so much toxicity that's came from this neighborhood. So many shit cunt neighbors. And this
your
guy,
parents you're talking about.
Yeah, my parents. I'm like, just fucking move. Fuck this guy. Like, let's be done. Go get a condo. You don't have to maintain any property.
Yeah,
you
you
got
don't have a big house
landscapers. You
anymore.
get you get some savings from the sale, but it'll be hard to sell next to this fucking piece of shit. He's literally had a dead car parked in front of his house for going on 20 years.
Jesus.
There's a car around the corner from here that hasn't moved since I bought this house.
And that was what, like 5 years ago?
6.
And is it a shit car?
I mean, it's not nice. It's not moving.
It's
It's
just
getting
sitting
worse by the day.
Somebody's paying the
that one-
registration for it to sit on the street.
I guess. Yeah.
I was fucking livid when I found out about this shit. Like, I was freaking out. Like, they don't tell me shit. And my point was, you guys gotta talk. You gotta tell me shit. Because if this, I didn't know you guys were embroiled in all this fucking battle. If this guy tried to antagonize me, which he's fully capable of doing and has done in the past, and I was smashing by to get my mail, and I was on him in the mode that day,
Yeah.
like old school come out real quick. And then it's like, what? But if that was like entrapment to get me to, to get him some kind of evidence because I like punked him or whatever or punched him. What if I didn't? I got to know this
Yeah.
shit. You got to keep me in the loop, man. People are fucking crazy now so more than ever.
Who might be trying to provoke you?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not knowing you guys have this shit going
Yeah.
on.
Man, just got to stay on that P3 train.
P3.
man.
Well, and that's what I told him. I was like,
Thank you. Yeah.
The
Dude, I've been on
P3.
the P3 train for a while because I finally come to the conclusion, fellas, that I have to stop getting angry about the things I can't control.
hell yes. You
'Cause-
need the ding button on that. Ding.
No problem. I got that. I mean,
That's a good mindset.
yeah. I mean, I've been dealing with a lot of building inspectors lately, and these fucks don't care. They don't give a shit. They've been showing up at times when they're saying they're
The
not showing
government
up.
employees, man, they don't care.
Yeah, and it's the whole fresh take thing.
Yeah.
That helps me get it out at least somewhere.
But then you got to let it go.
Right, there's got to be
Yeah.
somewhere I can vent.
You gotta
and
flush
right,
it.
right. And
You gotta
this
flush
motherfucker
it.
Gotta flush
is
it.
in the perfect place. You know what I mean? I mean, no, of course.
Me and Mama have this thing now where I try, like, no matter how bad your day's going, don't respond negatively. Like, how's your day going? Oh, it's fucking shit day. I can't believe this. Just try to be like, you know what? I'm busy. It's hard. But try to at least not get into that hole.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, you gotta stay on the tracks of success. That's right.
We'll get to success a little bit later. But
Right.
yeah, that's good. And I'm glad you're embracing it, bro, because it's easier said than fucking done. I know it
Oh,
from
for all of
experience
us.
because it's stupid hard for me, and I've been on the opposite side of it lately, and I invented P3. I came up with positivity to help myself get out of a negative rut and a depressed state.
Yeah.
So it's like I've been saying that shit for like the last 4 years because it's work. And the fact that we've coined it and made it into like a mantra in a way, it's like that's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
It's putting it to work in a whole nother level. And that just comes back to this being therapeutic for all of us and all that stuff.
That's right.
I'm happy to hear you do it.
Yep.
Because the reason your caricature was super pale at first is because you were the grumpy, toxic smoker. And I was waiting for weeks for you to say something. And I was like, it'll probably just take another sketch. And he's like, they're cool and all, but why am I so pale?
I'm so fucking
I
pissed.
was dying.
Hell, I think he said great.
It was fucking sickly.
like Roger from
it was
American Dad.
fucking sickly.
What's the cigarettes?
All right.
In a world where people have nothing better to do than make lists about movies and sports and such and then bitch about them on the internet.
What the fuck is the internet?
Where the average commute is far longer than it should be because people can't drive worth a shit and shouldn't even have a license in the first place.
Eat a dick.
We bring you the ultimate, end-all, be-all, most time-wasting, interactive, internet list-arguing debate tournament of champions in podcast history.
No fucking way Braveheart's better than Frozen.
Are you fucking kidding me?
This is the Flush Out Brackets.
You're talking about a film and a movie right here.
This week, we celebrate the high-speed rail. 2 hours from Sacramento to Disneyland. Oh yeah, it's gonna be fast. We're gonna snort rails on the high-speed rail, and you better hold on to your... Wait, ass.
What? It's about the high speed. This is about the light rail. What are you talking about? Oh, like we already did westerns. We already did outdoors. No. Oh, train.
This week, on the Flush Out Bracket, the same shit, different toilet flush out bracket, we bring to you train movies. First up, Keanu Reeves and fine-ass early Sandra Bullock in Speed.
Pop quiz, hotshot. There's a bomb on a bus. Once the bus goes 50 miles an hour, the bomb is armed. If it drops below 50, it blows up. What do you do? What do you do?
Number 2, Back to the Future 3.
All you have to do is drive the time vehicle directly toward that screen, accelerating 88 miles an hour.
Wait a minute, Doc. If I drive straight towards the screen, I'm gonna crash into those Indians.
Marty, you're not thinking fourth dimensionally. You'll instantly be transported to 1885, and those Indians won't even be there.
Right.
Damn, son.
You're darn tootin'.
It ain't westerns anymore. What are you doing over there?
You know, I get confused sometime on account of the marijuana and alcohol. Copious amounts of each mixed with prescription drugs get you on a level unseen.
Okay. Bull Speed. Keanu Reeves coming out as a breakout star, I think, in Speed, right? Getting his first ever real lead acting, I believe.
Well,
by
no.
himself as the lead male actor.
Don't forget Bill and Ted.
That he wasn't the only male lead actor.
No, but him and his co-star were the two top dogs. That was.
And what happened to the other guy? Nobody ever saw him in anything else.
They're making a 3.
Oh, shit.
They finally confirmed they're making a 3. Like, that was news like last week. They've been talking about it for the last 5 years, but they just confirmed they're really going to fucking do it.
That's cool.
I'm down. I don't know, bro. But is Speed even a train movie?
It's got a big train scene.
At the end, there's a huge train scene.
Yeah, like the whole last act, the last third of it is like on this train. And it's intense. It's intense.
Yeah, it's a pretty good action flick. Man.
When we
Up
were
against the third installment of one of the greatest movies ever made, I think.
Well, when we eventually get
third.
around to when we do a bracket just about the movies that have sequels, Back to the Future is definitely going to be a strong contender.
Right.
They're all good.
But 3, I did like the way they incorporated the train in with making the future, making the DeLorean get into the future. That was freaking awesome. I mean, it's not really believable, but I don't give a shit.
But when you're watching fiction,
It's
you
a
need to
movie about
suspend
time
disbelief,
travel,
right? Yeah.
And your problems with the train?
Nope.
Dude, that train was lit at the end. The one that flew like the time machine and the wheels flew under. It was like, I want that.
And it became Clint Eastwood Ravine.
Right?
Because they all thought he died.
Oh, because he always said Clint Eastwood. Like little McFly. McFly! You, McFly! Butthead.
Well, I'm a big fan of the Back to the Future movies. I'm going with Back to the Future 3.
Oh, there's one for Back to the Future 3.
I'm going with Back to the Future 3 as well.
Duffman with a Back to the Future 3 vote as well.
Was it a sweep?
Sorry,
or...
Keanu. I am going to have to go with Back to the Future 3.
Nice.
I love the Back to the Future trilogies, so.
I do too.
And Speed was okay.
you know, sometimes when we're playing this game and you think you have an answer. This didn't happen this time. I was going Back to the Future, but I was letting the sound bites influence me. I went into this knowing like, okay, I kind of have my mind made up, but the sound bites are going to influence me. And every now and then we play one of these sound bites, and this was one of them where it's just like the music, the score, all the background noise, the dialogue, the sound effects. It's
ZZ
just like,
Top was the band,
Right.
Yeah.
Lowdown.
And I'm pretty sure he like spun the banjo. That sample, I worked hard to try to sample that sample, and I could not get it to work. You could probably do it.
Well, we're going to have to go ahead and say goodbye.
I'm the guy with a plan, because I'm smarter than you. I'm smarter than you. Yeah? Well, I'm taller.
That's funny, and I noticed that as a train movie, an action train movie cliche when we were trying to come up with clips. When they're on the top of the thing and they're ducking from shit, it's like in every train movie.
Right.
Oh, such a funky groove. Makes movie face guy wanna move, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 sorry. Got some coke on my nose. My apologies. Anytime I hear disco, I need to do pelvic thrusts. I'm an air fucker, motherfucker. Let's talk about trains. I'm an air fucker, motherfucker. Movie face guy is insane. Next up, we have planes, trains, and automobiles.
Del. Why did you kiss my ear? Why are you holding my hand? Where's your other hand? Between two pillows. Those aren't pillows.
Versus White Man Can't Jump. It's just not my night. Money Train.
Hey, Sweet Pea, how's your cock working now that you ain't got a badge no more?
What?
This is what I think of you, you fuck up.
Spit in my face?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
No, hey, you're gonna hit it. Why not?
Because I'm gonna hit it.
No, you're not gonna hit it. We both hit it.
All right.
Oh, man. I really did love Money Train.
I did
I'm sorry.
too.
It's like fucking White Man Can't Jump Part 2.
I never saw White Man Can't Jump.
What?
You know what? There's got to be a segment like, what movie has Duffman not seen this week? Because it seems like every time
Are
we do
you
that,
kidding me?
Every time we do the FOB, I'm like, oh, I've never seen.
But you've
that.
seen Money Train?
Yeah.
See, I
right?
thought Money Train was a cheap attempt to get money after how great White Man Can't Jump was, and I wasn't that big a fan.
I think they should do more of that shit. When they have a duo that has that much chemistry and they work together, I don't think modern Hollywood capitalizes that as much as they did thinking about Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. When I saw I know we're getting off trains, but when I saw Get Hard with Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell, I was like, these two need to be the team.
More.
These two need to do a series of movies
They could
together.
add him with Mark Wahlberg and do other guys. That would be a great cast.
With and add Kevin
add
Hart.
Kevin Hart, yeah.
He could be kind of like the Joe
In the back
Pesci
of
movie of Lethal Weapon 3, or the Joe Pesci character in Lethal Weapon 3, you know? That would be sick. We need to do more of that.
But yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you get the combination that
It's a troop. It's
that
like,
literally you can see on screen.
It's too bad we didn't get more from John Candy and Steve Martin. Then,
It's too
right?
bad he's never seen White Man Can't Jump, but yeah.
I would love the nostalgia kicked fucking in hard when we started getting these audio clips, and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles was always one I was kind of like, I've seen it a few times, but I hadn't seen it for a while. It was well on video before I ever saw it, because you don't want to judge a book by its cover, but every now and then a movie or a show or a product's marketing, or not even marketing it from a kid's standpoint, but like the poster even, or the box, like just, you don't want it. Like, I don't know. I think it's human nature to agree to a degree. I'm just trying to be honest. It's like sometimes people just rub you the wrong way. Jamie Foxx used to rub me the wrong way.
Really?
I couldn't stand fucking Jamie Foxx. I love Jamie Foxx, bro.
Yeah.
I love Jamie Foxx, bro. Like, I love him. But when he had that show at the hotel or whatever, I wasn't fucking with that. I always thought he was weak on In Living Color, but I didn't know anything because I liked Fire Marshal Bill. Like, I'm stupid. I don't know shit. But so I was never really into Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and I saw it a couple times. And when Steve Martin is laying into his fucking ass, and he lays into his ass all movie.
Yeah, he angry.
But then when John Candy gives him the heartfelt shit, and you know this guy's been through like a long road, and he's got a lot of history and a lot of baggage, but still he's P3 to the max.
Right.
And he's like, I like me. You know, like when he's like, fuck you. You've been railing on me this whole shit, and I've been trying to be your friend, and we got through this shit together, and you think I'm a piece of shit. Well, fuck you. I like me. Your house ain't shit. Your wife ain't shit. Your kids ain't shit. Your money ain't shit. Like, whatever. And it was like that movie, like, it made me, like, well up a little bit. Like, it was hard. And I miss John Candy. I want to sit around, like, one weekend and just watch a bunch of John Candy movies.
Oh, it'd be a hell of a weekend, man.
Dude, smoking beer, drinking weed, and a lot of laughs.
This fucker says.
A lot of laughs. Anyway, I miss John Candy. Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings. Yeah, so, you know, I think I will. I think I'll lay a vote in for Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I think I watched it over the weekend on demand. On demand is very nice. Yeah. No commercials.
Love it.
Yeah, and it was fantastic. I forgot how good it was.
I'm so disappointed. I wanted to get to it this weekend.
This is like
I should have.
A tandem of duos right here.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to vote one off.
Well,
so
Money Train was actually on the other day, which is so funny to me. The kismet nature of a lot of what we're doing with this project is really cool and motivational. Like, we'll be talking about it and we'll be brainstorming it a week in advance, and all of a sudden Money Train's on. Like, fuck off.
That's
really?
That Bader Madoff shit again, though.
Money. Well, and that's what you were saying. Like, it's always been there. But I counter that because
sometimes
I search the. Sometimes you're right.
You watch a lot of movies.
A lot of times I'm fucking right. Whenever I watch the TV, it's either the baseball or the fucking movie channels. And I go through them and I scroll them. And a lot of times there ain't shit on.
Yeah.
I'm going to vote for Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
All right. Back-to-back sweeps, man.
We got three-peat?
Yep.
Damn. It's not a three-peat. That's only two movies.
Three-fers.
Three-fer.
Stay black, man.
Yeah, man. Ain't got no choice. Man, oh man.
I'm in love.
What you talking about, man? Yo,
love.
come on now. You ain't even got a shot. You better ease back.
I am deeply in love, I think.
Yeah, well, she is nice, isn't she?
Oh, more than nice. I'd introduce her to Marty if she was still alive. You know, I'd bear her children if she'd give me the opportunity.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
The final stop on the SSDT line. We bring to you planes, trains, and automobiles.
I'm to drive you to Wichita to catch a train?
Yeah, we'd appreciate it.
Train don't run out of Wichita. Unless you're a hog or a cattle. People train runs out of Stubbville.
That'll be fine. That'll be just fine.
Leave it be. Get your lazy behind out here and put that trunk up in the back.
Oh, no, we've got it. It's very heavy.
She don't mind. She's short and skinny, but she's strong. Her first baby come out sideways. She didn't scream or nothing.
Isn't that something? You're a real trooper.
Jesus Christ. Wow. That one versus Back to the Future 3.
What's your name, dude?
Mart Eastwood. Clint Eastwood.
What kind of stupid name is that?
I'm really upset with myself for not watching Planes, Trains, and Automobiles like I said I was going to. I got caught up in some other stuff and I just forgot. And like you said before, this is the first time the nostalgia from the clips has hit me so hard.
Is this your first one?
Oh, that it's hit me this hard because
Right.
a lot of these movies I've seen recently enough, or
Doesn't
I try
it
to
feel
watch
good
them.
though?
No, it's cool. I want to go watch it
when
now.
it happens. Yeah,
it's overwhelming. It's got momentum.
I can't wait to show. I showed you that picture. I want to I relax with the kid. I put the kid in my lap. We sit. We watch stuff. We watch baseball, and I fantasize about all the cool shit I get to show him. And we're definitely gonna go through the John Candy catalog, bro, and just put it down. It's gonna be so much fun.
I can show that one to Tangelo and Mandarin now.
Because they're not a lot of heart. Well, even at young, it's like when I was young, we watched Three Amigos, and
I loved that movie.
We loved it, and
Oh
it was goofy,
God.
and you don't get the adult jokes.
No, Parenthood's another one with Steve Martin.
Loved that.
Oh,
when
I loved it
young.
as a kid.
And
Now
the
as
song-
an adult, it's so. Speaking of Keanu Reeves,
is he? Oh yeah, he's in that.
He's the boyfriend in that. Yeah, he's
Wow.
the
And he
drag
gets
racer.
the girl to shave her head. Whoa.
But yeah, that's another movie where watching it as a kid, it had its moments for the reasons that it did. You go back as an adult, and it's a way different movie.
It kind of rolls into the P3 a little bit, but we'll get to that later. What do you got to add, Freshie? We always kind of fuck you, so I was gonna go, and I vote for, like I usually do, and I was like, wait, don't be a prick. Let's get Fresh a shot here. Come on,
Just yell it out.
Beethoven second. What do you mean? That's not even in the bracket. Why? Has anybody even seen Beethoven second?
No.
Well, I got a little girl. Lisa loves Beethoven second. Anyway,
I don't know what that means. I do love the time travel aspect. I like fucking movies that are kind of sci-fi-ish, and it was an Old West on a train, sci-fi-ish. But Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, definitely watching it after not seeing it for at least 25 years, I would think. At least. Is swaying me over for the heartfelt movie that
Holds
it
up,
was.
huh?
Yeah, that the way it made me feel, basically, and the positivity train that I'm rolling on right now.
yeah.
It's like, damn, like after all that shit, you finally learn to be positive. But look at the beautiful wife you got, and this guy's wife is fucking dead. Sorry if I just ruined the movie for you, but you should have seen it by now. Damn it!
No, yeah.
And that's why
there's
it's getting my vote.
There's a spoiler statute of limitations for sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure, and that one's well exceeded. Right. So you're voting PTA, huh?
That's right.
That's good for you. I can't compliment you enough for trying to implement this new shit. And I would like you to hold me accountable when you see me being a non-P3 bitch.
All right. I'm doing
Do you
my
want to
best.
go or do you want me to go? You can call it. Roll the dice. Or don't. Just whatever you want to do. Hook it up.
It's hard for me to say this
Hook
because
it up.
I'm a huge Back to the Future trilogy fan, but even though I haven't seen it in a while, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles had two, of the great comedic actors.
Yeah.
Without doubt. I got to go Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
That's cool. I knew that was going to happen. I'm going Back to the Future on this one, but just because that one, I love both these movies, but obviously they're apples and oranges, but I'm going Back to the Future.
Welcome to Marathon. May I help you?
Yes.
How may I help you?
You can start by wiping that fucking dumbass smile off your rosy fucking cheeks. Then you can give me a fucking automobile, a fucking Datsun, a fucking Toyota, a fucking Mustang, a fucking Buick, 4 fucking wheels and a seat.
I really don't care for the way you're speaking to me.
And I really don't care for the way your company left me in the middle of fucking nowhere with fucking keys to a fucking car that isn't fucking there. And I really didn't care to fucking walk down a fucking highway and across a fucking runway to get back here to have you smile at my fucking face. I want a fucking car right fucking now.
Well, thanks for chugging along on the SSDT line. That was this week's FOB. Check us out on the outhouse.com, spelled with a D. Yeah.
That's good. Good.
Awesome, man. Running away with it. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah.
Gotta love that shit.
So, I know earlier I had shot down one attempt at least at a TV series into the FOB when you tried to sneak Sopranos in the gangster one. I wanted to sneak Hell on Wheels into this one. Have you guys ever seen Hell on Wheels on AMC?
I have not, but that's an instance of where the marketing made me really want to watch that show.
It was good.
It was early in the. It was on TNT or something, wasn't it?
Wasn't Common in
it was
that?
Yeah, he was in that.
Okay.
AMC.
I think I know what you're talking
AMC. Okay, so it was kind of like in that wave of all
It was
the dope
during
AMC shows,
Breaking Bad. It was
and all
running the
that.
same exact time.
And it just looked so cool. And I wasn't even watching Breaking Bad at that time. So the dope TV show concept, I had seen Sopranos.
It was really good.
What's it called again?
And it ended Hell on Wheels.
Hell on It's an old Western weekly serial, right?
Yeah, and the whole series culminated in the driving of the Golden Spike. That was the last episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why I said I really wanted to force it in here. It's not the way the rules work. We'll get back around to another day. But
major honorable mention, though.
Yeah.
I really want to see that. And the fact that you're vouching for it, because this whole shit is working.
Besides
really cool.
Pirates, the Old West is my second favorite.
Pirates is your first?
Oh, dude, if I could have been a pirate, I would have been a pirate. I'm watching Black Sails again right now, and I'm telling Mama, and I'm laying in bed going, I could have been a pirate. She's like, you couldn't have been no pirate. What do you mean? She's like, you're too smart. What are you going to do? I go, somebody got to lead the motherfuckers, right?
Somebody's got to draw the maps.
Yeah.
No, I would take Cowboys over Pirate. I couldn't tell you who my number one was, but that's a fucking extreme honorable mention, and I love that. Yeah. My honorable mention was going to be, it's not so much a train movie, but the opening, again, another trilogy, the opening of Indiana Jones 3.
Oh, yeah.
And Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and they have the late River Phoenix, and he was, back at that time, he had died 2 years before, so it was a big deal, and I was like, what do you mean this movie star died? Movie stars can't die. And what do you mean this teenage movie star died? Teenage movie stars can't die. It was kind of like a weird reality shock for me. But that whole scene with the Vipers and all that, and he goes into the lion car, and it's like a whole live action pack image of a box of strung together animal crackers. It's like animal crackers real. You know what I mean? It's it's so cool. Super
I'm a big fan of that trilogy too. We'll get back to trilogies for sure.
With trilogy is going to be its own bracket. Well,
have you guys visited the train museum here in town much?
No, I loved it when I was a kid.
Field trip when you were a kid?
Yeah. We went on a field trip when we were a kid, and then one time when my grandparents were visiting from New York, because they would come twice a year. It was the best times. And we took it to them because we're trying to show them all this shit in Sacramento. And back then, there was even less shit to do in Sacramento. Yeah. So I was like, let's go to the train museum. That's something you can do with your fucking grandparents and shit. We were young, so we were just like, yeah, we're going to the train museum. Look at this fossil. Look at this Indian fossil. Look at this fucking thing. train museum was sick when you were a kid, but then I wanted to go there because I worked in the downtown mall for a number of years, and I would walk through that painted tunnel, and I'd go into Old Sac on breaks and stuff, and I would look at the train museum, and I would have just good memories. I was like, I gotta go in there, or I gotta take the lady there, or whatever, and
once
just
Matt
never
gets a little bit older, it'll be great, man.
Well, and now at this point, because then you also, the other side of that is you have your nostalgic shit, and then you don't want to look like a creeper in the kids museum.
It's not a kids museum, though.
It's a museum. So I went to it's a museum, which is good. That's what you're exactly right. It's not a kids museum. I went to the Crocker by myself when they were having the high fructose show, and it was fucking insane. It was so sick. I brought my brother Jay a annual pass membership to the Crocker, and I got one too. It's May. We still haven't done them.
We gotta do it.
Fucking sucks.
We'll go. We'll make a day night out of it.
But anyway,
I used to. One of my favorite parts of the museum was the model trains they had upstairs because I've always had them. And my grandfather that lives in Massachusetts collects trains, model trains. He has some old 100-year-old model trains, and that's something that is going to get passed down to me one day. It's kind of something I've always imagined doing in
they
retirement.
Actually work and shit.
Yeah,
or they're just like models.
No, he's got
that's funny.
Some
they have
old
like
ones
engines
that work
and shit, don't they?
Yeah, they just. I have one that smokes, man. You put this little smoking stuff in it, and it goes around the tree. And for Christmas, it's an Old West one. Right?
That's what I want to do.
It's in here somewhere.
I want to really. Well, I'm not going to use that old one. I'm going to get like a nice. I'm going to get like a nice, like safe one or whatever. But once the kid starts knowing what's going on, totally happening. Getting a train.
It's so fun.
But my grandparents from New York, they sent one year. I haven't seen it for years. I don't know where it is. Like a lot of years. They sent my dad his around the Christmas tree train from when he was a kid, and I'm thinking like that thing's got to be either broken or. And then I'm like, well, maybe we didn't know what we were doing. And then you, Orange, just said you've got this. You know people that have 100-year-old trains and shit. I was like, we should find that train. It's probably up in my parents' attic and get it all fixed up and get it new tracks and shit or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be sick.
Yeah,
I want to do it. I love
Mandarin was obsessed when he was little. So for like his 3rd birthday, we took him and hopped on the train here. And we went to Berkeley, and then in Sassoon, a bunch of my family got on, and he lost his mind.
Oh, really?
I found video of it the other day because I'm trying to transfer stuff over from the old Mac to the new Mac.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he loved him, too. It's like it's almost weird that it's genetic. My grandfather loved him. I loved him. And he loved him from the small age. They fascinate some kids and not others.
Oh, before
Angelo
you
didn't
told
care
them?
much.
Oh.
I'm just saying, when he was little, he would lay there and watch that one go around that would smoke. And he would just lay there like a little angelic kid he wasn't, you know?
They are angelic. We call Mac a lot of shit. Right? I call him Babe Ruth. He's Fat Babe Ruth. He's Chunk. He's Chunky Monkey. He's Chubbs. I call him Chubbs from Happy Gilmore all the fucking time. I call him Fat Mac. I call him all kinds of shit. He's hella chunky. But I don't remember. What was the last thing you said?
I said he looked.
Oh,
angelic.
He looked angelic. He does.
Looked.
He gets this soft. He gets this soft smile, and he just looks like a little Cupid. He looks like this little Cupid that would fly through and just be like, and like hit you with a little heart arrow and then flutter his fat ass off. We call him a little cherub baby. He looks like a little cherub.
Still got rolls.
Oh, he's got fat chick rolls, bro. Like his legs look like a fat woman that you see riding that handy cart through Bel Air.
Well, all right. Well, hopefully Mac will be rolling his way to some success. Because
I'm going to teach that motherfucker to run laps real quick.
That's right, man.
I don't think we're going to have a problem. The energy is fierce with that boy. Oh, man. And anyway. What is success, and what does it mean to you? Is it worth having a soul-crushing job and nice things? Or would you still consider yourself successful if you sold puka shells on the beach in the Caribbean somewhere? That's food for thought, shitheads.
So where'd that come from?
I've always thought...
This week. No, I'm just saying, what this week sparked you to want to talk about that? Do you know?
I can't think of it right now. I'm starting the wheels, and I'm starting to come up with a culmination of different thoughts as it was like forming into the tornado, but specifically right now on the spot, I can't. I'll think of that on the drive home and probably all day tomorrow until I come up with an answer. Or I'll forget. But if that happens, I'll text you. I don't know, bro. Like, it was just because, like, I'm trying to learn how to simplify more and be more less is more and just be more peaceful. And I think sometimes a strive for possessions will create an unnecessary negativity within your zone.
Absolutely.
And then it's just more shit to break. It's like more money, more problems. You like that Biggie song or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it creates all this other drama that if you just didn't have that thing, you wouldn't have to worry about anything negative associated with that. So the less things that are not necessities that are removed from the equation, it's less shit to fuck up. And when everything seems to be very consistently in fuck up mode, it's like you can't even do anything anymore. That's a whole nother tangent.
You're not even, well, you're not, you're constantly feeling let down.
You set yourself up for failure. Yeah. And sometimes that's pretty expensive. You're like, this thing's going to be the boat. I mean, not even buying like things, but
isn't success just like beauty? It's a
happiness.
It's a form of,
it's a mind state.
Self-worth and self-righteousness, that you're happy with yourself. Fuck. Who measures success? First and foremost.
Unfortunately, society
Instagram,
does.
Twitter,
and
really,
that shit makes you feel bad about yourself. It's like
that's all advertising is.
All within, man.
Oh, for sure. No, and you're hitting it right on the head. New Zen Fresh. Zen Fresh is the shiz, bro. You just got a new nickname. You morph like a rapper.
Zen Fresh.
You just got another one, man.
I like
you like
that
from the
shit.
Wu-Tang. You like from the Wu-Tang. You got like 5 names. Now your second name, I knight you. I'm gonna talk like the RZA because it's Wu-Tang. Your second name, Fresh, is Zen Fresh. Praise the W forever.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is in the eye of the beholder.
It is in the eye of the beholder. And that's another thing, like you see I follow all these positivity memes and shit because shit like that. Why did my voice escalate all there? Why did I get all tense about
I smell a tattoo coming on.
What? I want to get the
Zen
one.
Fresh.
Zen Fresh. That's pretty sick, bro. I got copyright, though, so you got to put the little Duffman logo on your shit.
Right on the top of the
I already coined it, bro. I did it 2 weeks ago. I've been waiting just like the cartoon.
You motherfucker.
I'm just kidding. But delete that. I'm just kidding.
I've joked a lot about one day I'm just going to say fuck it and go sell chiclets in Mexico. It's not that far from puka shells in the Caribbean.
No.
And that's verifiable. I've said that for yes, I've said it for at this point probably decades. I have said that as a fuck this job, I'm going to go sell chiclets on the beach. That's just been my go-to.
The funny teeth gum?
Yeah. One of the movies that I submitted for the Great Outdoors FOB that got shut down because I don't think a lot of people have seen it is Captain Fantastic.
I haven't, but I want
And that's where the dad and the mom had taken the kids out into the wilderness and decided to raise them off the grid, basically.
Like the village or the Alaska people or whatever?
They were living on a bus. And so, like I said, not enough people saw it. I think it's a really, really worthwhile movie to watch. And it talks about what is really important. Yeah, it's a great role for him, too. The whole movie's great.
Yeah. That's so fucking cool. I dig that. I want to see that. I don't know. It's just sometimes it's like you get so burnt out and stressed out sometime, or I do. You. I would like to say you because I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel the pain, but it's like I get so stressed out. And it's like I shouldn't be this angry all the time. And yes, a lot of it, like you said before, is how you react to it. There's a real art and a strength as strong as any weightlifting or martial arts, and that is remaining calm and appropriate in a negative situation versus lashing out and trashing the garage and breaking a window and all this stuff. And you just up your aura and your chi and your zen and your positivity and your P3. You get stronger every time that you don't spaz out and smash the room or whatever, or be hella foul or whatever you do when you're in your lowest shit is like doing reps on weights, and you're like buffing up your chi, essentially your force field, so that way just the negativity in the shit, they zap the Star Wars lasers at you and like it bounces off.
You gotta stay positive.
It's your lightsaber, really. It's your force bubble. That's I don't know.
You gotta be happy with yourself more than anything.
But I did a lot of work in the garage, or a lot of work in the yard on Saturday, and I watched the beginning of the game after the walk and stuff, listened to the game on the walk, watched the game, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to go work on the yard. So I just played it on a speaker through the yard and was doing all this like yard work and stuff, and then setting up the patio furniture and stuff. And she got more pillows, and it looks all super cool. It's like I feel very accomplished. Got the other patio ready to go. And then after that, I listened to that Slightly Stupid mix you sent me.
Oh, yeah?
Which was cool. And I was vibing to that. And then it was like, all right, now it's time to drink. I waited like a while to drink beer. I didn't drink beer all day. And like waited a while. And I finally I was buzzing, right? So I've been smoking and drinking and shit. And then I finally sitting on the patio furniture, like admiring my handiwork. It's dark. I'm smoking from the pipe and just observing and looking at the yard and everything that I accomplished. And then I was like, okay, this feels good. I really like it. I'm just motivated to put in a pool now. I'm just going to start hustling hella hard, put in a pool. And then it felt good. So it went back to a little bit of motivation. I like all my stuff. I'm not saying this isn't a confession of me being superficial. I'm just saying sometimes it's like I could be cool in like a 2-bedroom house in like Fair Oaks with like a big ass yard and a fucking cow, or move to the islands. Being homeless,
I don't
selling
know if I
poop.
need a cow, but
I'm just saying being
Yeah,
homeless
no, I
and
gotcha.
selling not even homeless, but just living in a modest apartment selling shells on the beach would be sick in some locations.
Coworker of mine retired, went to Costa Rica, and for 3 years they bounced around the country trying to figure out where they wanted to settle, and then they found a place. They bought a condo outright. With they sold their house here. They had plenty of money from that to pay for the condo outright. And he says his entire bills for the month, everything they have is like $200. It's nothing. He says he could turn the water on and never turn it off. Water bill would still be $3.
Yeah, well, you don't want to do that, but still.
And
that
water,
would be cool.
water down there, they can't get rid of it fast enough. So.
Dude, that lifestyle.
But yeah, that's it.
You're walking around in swim shorts all the time. You're smoking, you're drinking, you're eating good food, you're meeting good people, you're helping people with whatever minor profession that you have. But since you're essentially like America rich in the old country, your money's going to go hella far. Like, would it be that bad?
Well, this goes back to the success. What constitutes success, right? Because in some ways, like how I look at it is, I live less than people of my pay grade normally do, because we're saving for an early retirement,
which is good for you.
So then when I hit that point though, and I'm living that life on our boat, which we're going to go live at an early age, then I'll be considered highly successful by some measures, right? You still have to be
that
happy.
regard, yeah.
I had somebody tell me one time he was more successful than me. And I said, why do you think that? He goes, because I made more money than you last year. And I didn't even hesitate. I just went, I spent a lot more time with my kids.
Yeah.
That was it.
Why would you even say that to somebody in the fucking first place?
Just some people love talking about that. Because to them, part of measuring their success is that that by their measure, they're successful.
Right.
I did this, or I made this much money, or you know what I mean? I make this much money.
I feel like I do that sometimes, and I don't mean to do it. I just want to
You can be proud of your accomplishments.
I'm proud of my accomplishments. I'm proud of my shit. I'm proud of my family. And I just like to share it with people that I love. Like, I love people to come over and me cook, or I like to buy all the... Like, I brought all the beers and the tacos. Like, I don't want any money for it. I just love being with you guys and doing the thing. You know? So, like, that's what I like to do with the success. Or the little bit of quote-unquote success is just fucking... hook people up and share with my family and friends. But
by a lot of measurable, like, not statistics, measurable
metrics.
Yeah.
Somebody's fucking chart, somebody's report.
Apparently there are ways to measure happiness amongst income levels. And they say that in America, if you make more than $70-something thousand a year combined household income, if you're unhappy, that's on you.
Yeah.
It no longer has to do... You've made enough money to meet all of your basics.
Oh, for sure.
Well, and then now it's up to you.
What was that number?
$70-something thousand combined household income.
That's combined.
$70,000 is cool, especially like I remember when I used to make like a lot less money than that, and to have $70,000 at that time would be amazing.
Well, they say that often in poor communities, and I don't mean to use that word derogatory at all, but that there is a higher sense of happiness because they have a higher sense of community.
Mm-hmm. You don't have neighbors trying to sue you over bushes because you're all cool neighbors. Eventually, there's going to be somebody that sucks, but you know,
there's more neighborhood like gatherings, I guess you
block
could say.
parties,
yeah, stuff like that.
Can I get a cup of sugar? Like really happens and stuff.
It's weird to me, like when people act surprised when we get a new neighbor and go introduce ourselves. It's like, why is that the surprising move?
Right.
Instead of, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, though, I'll run into a neighbor that doesn't live all that far away and realize that they've lived there just as long as I lived here. I asked them if they just moved in. 6 years they've been there. I felt like an idiot.
Yeah,
but I never
too.
talked to them.
Yeah.
But there's so many other ones I do talk to.
Well, there's a lot of... So for me, like, some of it is like, yeah, I have those neighbors that I talk to and they're cool. I would like to get to know the other neighbors, but also it's kind of like I get to go home and I get to not talk to people. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's cool to talk to people, but I hate feeling like I'm always on. And if I just want to like smoke and drink beer in the day, I don't want to have to be like,
well, that's why it's
like...
good though to know the right neighbors, because
right.
maybe you can go, you know, hey man, let's go up here and grab a beer. Do you want to get in the backyard and roll one real quick? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, this was kind of a lot of what was speaking of the nostalgia of the train FOB and the topic of the Christmas trains and shit. The P3 this week is brought to you by Parker Brothers. Finding yourself consists of peeling off years of social conditioning to find a self as it existed during childhood, unmasked. And I was thinking of that as I've been getting... The nostalgia shit is like been kind of weird, but you ever like walk into somebody's garage and it smelled like a garage from Montana?
Mm-hmm.
Or when you were going through Yellowstone and stuff, you ever get in a car and it's like, oh, this smells like that time me and Grandpa drove to fucking Yellowstone or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When a smell associates a memory or a time, there's been a lot of them. Like I had the pepper on my salad the other day and it tasted like eating salad at my grandma's kitchen table in New York, or dining room table rather. There was another smell that sounded like...
Smells are supposed to be the ones that are most closely related to memories.
Oh, dude. It's taste and smell and sound.
My shit's all
music.
Sound.
Music.
I feel
sound.
like mine's all sound. I don't know.
I
love smells. Don't get me wrong. I love them. But, man, my ear, I've always trusted my ear more than any other sense I have.
When I listen to the Yankees radio on my phone and you hear the commercials from, like, New York and stuff... And it reminds me of like riding around in my grandparents' car on a rainy day in New York. Like it really like fully takes me back. Like it's one of the reasons why it's really cool for me to listen to.
Is so
to Yankees
such innocence
on the radio.
I was at a first communion party this weekend, and there were like no shit 50 kids there, and they were running around at like full speed most of the time. You know, and then they take short breaks. And I was asking them, the guys were standing around drinking beers with their guts hanging out. Why don't we run around like that anymore? Why don't we just all animated and just run up to our friends? What's up, man? And then turn around and run over there real quick.
We should build
That's the childhood. That's what it's talking about. Why do we stop doing that?
Because we get hurt and it fucking sucks.
We only get hurt because we got fat because we stopped doing it.
Well, yeah, and we're tired.
If you kept doing it all the time, you'd be fine.
To grow up.
Well, that's why working out.
Hey, they're closed. We can rip their shit.
Nope. They're like, that's going to bring us back. They're
Yeah.
going to sue us one day. We sell toys, motherfucker. Fuck your SSDT action figures.
See, now P3.
No. It was Toys R Us coming back at us being a bitch. Anyway, you can cut that too. But, yeah, bro. I don't know. Just like all of these. When you were a kid running around, as you were talking about, there was like a happy and an innocence. And it was like, fucking stupid shit in the world didn't matter, and I'm getting excited that I'm going to be able to experience a lot of this with my son, but I got to stay mentally sane to be there for my son and be responsible, or they won't let me around my son. But I think that was an interesting quote. Finding yourself consists of peeling off years of social conditioning, keeping up with the Joneses, advertising, social media, to find a self as it existed during childhood, before advertising, before politics, before social media. Unmasked.
That's a good one.
So I think we need to unmask ourselves a little bit and keep it simple. Think of the guy on the beach. Think of success as measured in happiness and not materials. And make that money. No.
All right, shitheads, check it out. # same shit different t-shirt. I'm a fiend for the t-shirts. I'm going to be wearing a new one every podcast day. Some of them are going to be available to you guys, so swing by the Outhouse. You'll be able to find them there along with everything else the Outhouse Productions related. Same shit, different toilet episodes, Deep in the Outhouse, and my boys put together some LSU for y'all. Check it out.
This is the Duffman. Catch me at 916. No. Catch me at Duffman 916 on IG and the Twitter. Search SSDT on the Apple Podcast app. Download and listen to the show, shitheads.
Yeah, you can find me at JT_fresh with a 3, not an E. Hey, remember, check out SSDT Toilet on Instagram. And folks, we're on Stitcher, iTunes, Podbean. Oh yeah, of course YouTube, SoundCloud, stroking all that shit. Yeah, good night, shitheads.